Hello world, good morning, good afternoon and good evening based on the locations from where you are watching the video. In this lab, I'll try to set up a virtual machine in VMware Fusion, and then we'll try to install Rocky Linux 10 on it. So let's start the lab. This is VMware Fusion. Click on new, create a custom virtual machine, click continue. There are different operating system available here: Windows, Linux, Apple, VMware, EXSI and other Linux. So here we'll click on Linux, and in Linux there are different Linux available here: CentOS, Debian, Fedora, SUSE, Oracle Linux, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and then Rocky Linux. Here we have we'll choose Rocky Linux 64-bit. Click continue. Now there are two options available here: create new virtual machine, use existing virtual machines. If we already have an existing virtual machine, then we can choose with these options. Here I don't have an existing virtual machines, existing hard drive, so I'll choose the first options: create new virtual machines. Virtual disks, this means this is the hard disks of the virtual machines. The capacity for the hard drive is 620 GB, would be fine for me. Next, now these are the summary for machines. The machine name is Rocky Linux 64, capacity is 20 GB hard drive, memory 2 GB. I have one network adapter, and then these are details. I'll be customizing the virtual machine later on. Let's click on finish right now. Okay, this is the location for hard drive for virtual machine. That's fine. Now now this is a virtual machine similar like the physical machines. It will try to boot on now, but unfortunately it will not find the bootable media and it will fail. Let's wait for a few minutes. So it says operating system not found and it failed, right? So let us shut down this machine. Shut down. Now I'll customize this machine. Setting, I'll increase the RAM to 4 GB since I have 16 GB available. Fine. And then I have one network adapter. I'll add another network adapter. Click add, and then I'll click on the custom private for this network adapter. Done. Now here on a CD I have to download, which I have already done in this case, but let me show you. Download Rocky Linux 10. If you search this on a Google, it will give you now, these are the different options you can download from internet: the whole DVD, ISO, bootable ISO, minimum ISO, and boot ISO. In my case, I have already downloaded the minimum disk here. Rocky 10 minimum ISO. So I'll map the same ISO here on the DVD. Okay, done. Now with that I'll start virtual machine. Let's click on start. Now this is the installation step. Here we need to select install Rocky Linux 10 and then press enter. Let's wait for the installation process. Since this is the minimum installations, it will be relatively faster as compared to using other options like server UI. Depending on your resource, means RAM, processor, the installation process would be slow and fast depending on the resource. So the language would be English. Let's click on continue. The process is taking a little bit time. Let's wait for the screen to go to the next page. Seems like the installation screen is frozen at the moment. Let me restart the server and give it a try again. let's see if I can be successful here or not. Seems as if the screen is frozen once again. Let me shut down the machine and try to increase the resource here. Let's see if it helps. Setting processor and memory. Let me give 8 GB here. Alright, verify. Yeah, good to go. Alright, let me start the VM machine again. Let's see if it helps this time or not. Install Rocky Linux 10. click on continue. This time it move ahead. Now there are different items given here on the screen. The keyboard is US layout. If you want to choose different based on your requirement, then choose so. Now click on the installation source. Here like the installation source would be auto detect installation source. In my case it is I'm installing it via DVD. Now installation destinations, this is my hard drive. I need to select it, 20 GB hard drive. Done. Still not selected. I need to select it once again. It's a kind of bug, so you need to choose this twice here. Now see here, it has been already selected, and then it says the partition would be auto. It will automatically create the partitions based on the requirement. You can go and choose custom. For that, if you choose custom, you need to give all the partitions and the size yourself. We're not moving with that option right now. We'll just choose automatic and then move ahead. The rest it will do all the partitions here. All right, the language selection would be US English in my case. And then software installations here. Now I'll be installing just minimum Linux, so like it will be relatively fast. If you want other options, you can set up during installation as well right now by checking this different checkbox, or you can do it later on. We'll do it later on. Now date and time, Asia Kathmandu is fine. Whatever is your location, based on that you can choose on the drop down and select the one. Similarly do for the city. All right, click done. Now here on the network and host section, since I have two adapter, I'm getting IP address via DHCP on this virtual case, both of the adapter. The first adapter name is ENS160, another one is ENS2240. Now here I need to give an host name, so I'll give the full FQDN here. You can set up the host name later on as well, or you can do during installations. I'll give this guy a name, station 50.example.local. all right, click apply. Now your host name is configured as station 50 example.local. If you want to change IP address configurations here based on your requirement, you can go here, click on configure, and then on IPv4. Right now I'm getting it via DHCP. If you want to do it manually, you're free to do so as well by clicking on the manual options, and then give the IP address whatever fits your network. All right, good. Now I'm fine with the DHCP right now. Okay, done. And then if you want to enable root, set the password for root, though this is not recommended. Allow SSH login via root. Please do not do it for the production server, but this is for my lab machine, so I'm okay with these options. This is the root user that I have activated. Now you can create the username that you would like to log in this machine. I'll create an instructor as an username and then assign password. Okay, alright. For production network you can choose complex password. For the lab I'm happy with the weak password as well. Instructor as an username and then given password. Alright, it says the password is weak, that's fine, I'm okay. So these are steps. If you're happy with these all the steps given here, click begin for the installation process. Now wait for the installation process to complete, and then once the installation process is complete, you'll have a successful Rocky Linux 10 minimum running on your virtual machines. Alright, so there are 318 packages that this guy is going to set up. Let's wait for a few more minutes and then we should be good to go. Almost completed. Now this guy is trying to configure kernel core. In the meantime, let's have a look on the hardware, minimum hardware requirement for installing Rocky Linux 10. You can Google it, and like it says these are the minimum requirement for the servers. These are the supported architecture, R Arch x86 and different processor AMD, Intel and other processor given here. uh, CPU requirement, memory requirement for text mode 2 GB. For UIC the recommended version is 4 GB for the UI installations, or for production server 4 to 8 depending on the resource. The more resource you have, the better it is. And the storage 10 GB is minimum, 20 GB plus recommended. For update and applications log for UI 40 GB plus. And your network adapter should be supported, either should be functional either to Ethernet or wireless network adapter. It should support static in DHCP configuration via network manager, and then display VGA and HDMI. Similarly, the installations medium through which you will be installing the ISO. It could be either through USB stick or through CD or DVD-ROM. So this is the summary of the hardware requirement for installing Rocky Linux 10 that we should be mindful. For minimum server, these are the requirement. For UI, these are the requirement. For production server, these are the requirements. All right. So based on your use case, uh, we should look into the hardware requirement of the server before installations. All right. But I think we are almost now completed. The installation process is completed. Now let's reboot the server, and then if everything goes well, then we will be presented with the install machines, Rocky Linux 10. Alright, the machine is booting up. Now this is our machine. The installation process is successfully completed. Let's log in via username created earlier, instructor, and the password. So I am in. The installation has been completed successfully. These were the steps to install Red Hat Rocky Linux 10, through which we are able to install successfully. Though there were hiccups in between, depending on the resource, it will take a little bit longer, shorter period of time. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.